Good day, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Ravina Amos. I'm your business moderator for this edition of the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and clients all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about businesses. We will be doing a fireside chat with Margie McLean. Margie McLean is a dedicated counselor, educator, mentor, and community life coach with over 20 years of experience in empowering and leadership workshops. Holding a Bachelor of Science in Molecular Biology from the University of North Carolina at Pembroke and a Master's in Education Leadership from Argosy University. Margie is the founder and CEO of Margie McLean Foundation Incorporation, which focuses on supporting underprivileged children and families through education, enrichment, health, and wellness initiatives. Since 2009, she has organized, empowered, and events for women and girls, including the Girls Empowerment Leadership Summit and the Divas Empowerment Retreat. Margie stated that Ladies of Quality mentoring programs in 1992, advocating for young women, leadership, and education. Recognized as a 2014 Who's Who by the National Association of Professional Women and a 2016 Trailblazer by Pure Potential Incorporations. She is currently a global ambassador and regular speaker for Black Business Expo USA. Margie's motto is leaving no one behind. Embodies her commitment to overcoming obstacles while uplifting others on their journeys. I present to you Margie McLean.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am wonderful, Margie, and you?
I'm doing
Welcome.
wonderful.
Again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Margie, tell us what inspired you to pursue a career in counseling and education? And how has your personal journey shaped your approach?
Yes, so just to reiterate, I am the CEO of the Margie McLean Foundation and also Chemistry Growth Mindset, which is a transformational coaching and consulting business. And with that, I am helping to transform the minds of young ladies to what they want to be, to actually doing what it is that they want to do. With that being said, that's what inspired me, being an educator, being in the classroom with young women, and also I would just say our youth, period. Just seeing how they're kind of like, floating in the wind, don't know what they want to do. So they just need someone who can hone in on their talent and actually make sure that they take their talent and they do what it is that they want to do and actually make it flourish here in today's society.
Share a pivotal moment in your life that influenced your mission to empower young women and youth?
Yes, there was a moment in life. Just growing up myself, I was a part of an organization called Ladies of Quality at my high school, and there we had a mentor who helped us, become young ladies, teach us, the best way to dress when we go to interviews, scholarship interviews, also community service. And so when I became a teacher, I decided I wanted to take that with me and teach our young ladies the same thing. Right. Also, with some of our young ladies, they probably have never been out of their city. So, we was able to do some community service. It made them feel so good to be able to help others. And so from there, when they grew up to become adults, they became leaders themselves.
Absolutely. That is fantastic. Look, can you tell us more about the Margie McLean Foundation and the specific impact you aim to achieve through its programs?
So the Margie McLean Foundation, we started off again with Ladies Equality before I even formed Margie McLean Foundation, and it just extended into just mentoring with Ladies Equality we started to do projects such as Toy for Peds, where the young ladies were able to collect toys and we take it to pediatric centers in the hospital for those kids who couldn't be home for Christmas. And then it actually extended to us doing senior to senior, which our senior young ladies, those who was a senior, they would actually go to our senior homes and actually do a Christmas party with the seniors. We would make Christmas cards, and then it just extended from there. Now we are doing the community baby shower, where we actually are helping first-time moms and new moms and fathers get the materials that they need, and actually have a baby shower. Well, I think one of the things that impact me is my first baby shower. We had two young ladies who came, and one of the young ladies talked to me after it, and she said this was the only baby shower she was having because she didn't have any family. She was out of foster care. So she didn't really have any family. It's the only baby shower she would have had. And when I said she left with tons of things that she possibly wouldn't have got, it just made me feel so much better. And we actually are having our sixth community baby shower coming up in April 2025. So I'm excited about that. But it has actually made a difference in our young ladies' life, from just even going to different colleges. We had young ladies who had never even thought about going to college until we started doing the college tour. And they are doing amazing things. So even be able to watch them from youth to now adults having their own children and married, it just makes me feel good that I was a part of their success.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Now, based off your experience, what do you believe is the most significant barrier facing young women today? And tell us, how does your work address these issues?
I think one of the barriers right now is social media. I'm gonna have to say also reality TV shows. I was listening to the young lady who was before me talking about how women are sexualized, and now our young girls feel like that's the way to get attention. So for me to counteract that barrier, it's just good for me to be able to host workshops for young ladies. I do one called Dressing for Success, teach them how to dress, and dress for success. I even had a panel discussion where I had young men come in, and we had questions so they can hear what young men think about maybe the way they dress. Is that what they want, or it's not? And it made an impact on young ladies to see that, young men may not want to see you like that. They see you, but they may not think much. So, just having the discussion with them, especially when I used to do my teen talk, My Mind Matters, it definitely was a great thing to have. I'm hoping to bring that back where we have some teens to come on and discuss different issues that they are dealing with within their community.
Okay. Now, how have the events and workshops you've organized evolved over the years? And what are some of the success stories that stands out to you?
Yeah, so with the Margie McLean Foundation, we have had the Girls Leadership Institute, and I call it JAIL, which is the Girl Empowerment and Leadership Summit. And with that, we have speakers in the community to come in and speak to our young ladies and do different workshops. It have definitely made a difference, teaching them how to actually carry themselves, teach them about self-image, which young ladies need to talk about. From there, it just extended to Chemistry Growth Mindset, which is my life coaching business. I do the Divas Self-Care and Empowerment Workshop, holistic workshop. And that has actually become really huge. We started in Myrtle Beach and then went to Charlotte last year. We will be going on a cruise in March. So I'm excited about that for our retreat. And some of the success stories I had was women who came to the workshop, not knowing where their life was headed. But then once they left, it just empowered them to be able to do more, and being around other women also. They not only just listening to my coaching, but there's other women that they're surrounded by, listening to the stories that they overcame, and it made a difference. I had one young lady who came and she did not think she could go to college. She's now just finished her master's program. She finished her bachelor's and said, I don't think I'm doing anything else. Next thing you know, she's in her master's program. She just graduated not just recently. So it just makes a difference to be around women who are doing some things who can inspire you as well.
Yes, that's wonderful. Now, what advice would you give to young women who are looking to take on leadership roles in their community?
The main advice I would say is to, excuse me, one of the main advice I would say is to make sure you have a mentor. And
Mm-hmm.
also be at the table of people who know more than you so you can learn. If
Mm-hmm.
you are at the table with people who know just as much as you, you're not elevating, or with people who may not know anything,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to elevate. So you need to
Yeah.
always be at the table with someone who possibly can teach you more. Never think that you know it all, because you don't.
Mm-hmm.
um, and so make sure you're open to learning as well. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
you open to someone telling you something that you possibly don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And also just make sure that you be around, just have a network of people that you can always hone in on, that you can sit at the table and say, okay, I have this idea. What do you think about it? And everyone can pretty much talk about their particular idea. Maybe someone can give you a different perspective. I have done that before. Hey, I have this
Mm-hmm.
idea. What do y'all think about this? Do you think this will work? Maybe, I don't think this will work here. Maybe it works somewhere else. And be
Right.
able to take that advice.
Right. Yeah. Now, what leadership qualities or what self-care practices do you incorporate into your busy schedule to maintain balance? Because that sounds like you have a lot going on.
I do have a lot going on. I just have
Yeah.
to make sure that I take time for myself. I wrote a
Mm-hmm.
book recently.
Mm.
I have to shout out Dr. Kelly
Detail.
for
Yes.
pushing me to write this book. But I wrote a book called For the Love of Me, and it's a self-care 31-day journal self-care um, book. And in the book, you are answering questions. It's just not a journal that you write in like a diary, but you
Mm-hmm.
answering questions about yourself. How do you
Mm-hmm.
love yourself? Every day in that book, I have some type of self-care challenge that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that self-care challenge could be just take a long bath. It could be take a walk. It could be buy
Mm-hmm.
yourself some flowers. Go to the movies by
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Have dinner by
Mm-hmm.
yourself. So every day you are challenged to do something for yourself. Now I said, for me, I cannot write this book and challenge you to do something, but I'm not doing it myself with this book.
Mm-hmm.
So every day I'm looking in the book to see what's a challenge that I can do for myself. Even just doing a gratitude jar. I have
Mm-hmm.
taught that. And I do a course with my book as well. And one of the things I teach is you doing a gratitude jar and just writing things that I'm grateful for. But I'm
Mm.
trying to and making sure that I take time for myself. Even like today, after today, I plan on going to the movies just to sit in the
Right.
movie theater
Right.
and look at a nice movie I love to do, because I need that time to
Right.
myself. So I have
Absolutely.
to make sure I'm intentional with my self-care practice. Even if you have to, sometimes we have a calendar and we're like, okay, you have to write yourself in the calendar as well. So I'm trying to
Mm.
make sure that I make sure I write myself like an appointment in my calendar for myself.
Very smart. Yes. Yes. Now, as a member of various organizations, how do you find the time to stay engaged? And what made motivates you to keep going and keep giving back?
What really motivates me is just seeing like the kids that I'm helping.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what motivates me is someone helped me at one time. So I want to make sure I
Mm.
never stop doing that in the
Right.
community. It's always something that needs to be done. I know I
Mm-hmm.
can't do it all. So I try to make sure that I partner with other organizations and community leaders as well. The other thing that motivates me is I have a 4-year-old here, and she motivates me to keep going because I want to make sure that she's in a world where she's able to do and able to see and able to be
Mm-hmm.
motivated herself, able to be empowered,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely teaching her. She's watching me, so I have to
Right.
make sure that I
Right.
am doing laying the footsteps that I want her to follow. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one
Mm-hmm.
of my, well, I would say a couple of my motivations.
Mm-hmm. That is definitely commendable. Now, um, what qualities do you think are the most essential for women in today's society? And how do you cultivate these qualities in your mentoring program?
I'm gonna say the top quality now in today's community is self love. You
Mm.
have to love
Yes.
yourself. And when
Yes.
you love yourself, um, you treat yourself well.
Mm-hmm.
And when you love yourself, you expect and demand for others to treat you the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that's one of the biggest qualities that we have to do. And that's the reason why I wrote the
Mm-hmm.
book that I
Mm-hmm.
wrote, is us learning how to love ourselves. Because if we don't love ourselves, we are looking for love in the wrong places. And we
Mm-hmm.
end up in the hands of the wrong person who would treat us a certain way. And we think that's the way it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not being fulfilled in our own destiny, we are actually fulfilling someone else's destiny. So I think self-love is definitely one of the main qualities that we need to teach our young women, and women, period, as well. We know that some women have been through some really terrible situations, whether it be marriage, whether it be their job, whether it be microaggression. I'm gonna teach that workshop too. Microaggression, not even just at the hands of our workers, but also at the hands of us. Sometimes we have microaggression amongst ourselves. How do we teach us to be, Black women to come together and work together for the better cause of our community? So just the self-love, I think, is one of the main qualities.
Okay. Now, looking ahead, what are your aspirations for the Margie McLean Foundation in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I am looking for the Margie McLean Foundation to extend beyond North Carolina. I'm looking for it to, extend internationally within the next 5 years. I want to see this program actually help women across the world, not just here in my city or here in my state. I am looking to build some more programs. We have four main objectives. And education is definitely one. And just being an educator and seeing how our education system is failing our kids, I want to be a part of that solution, not a part of just the complaining, but a part of the solution. So I can see us extending beyond North Carolina and, like I said, internationally as well.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, how do you envision the future of empowerment, of the empowerment initiative for women and the youth evolving?
So my empowerment retreat, I am actually again looking for it to become international as well. Again, it's called the Diva Self-Care and Holistic Empowerment Retreat. And so I call it that because we need to retreat sometimes away from how life is just throwing things. We got this saying, life is lifing. And sometimes some women cannot handle a lot that's going on. And sometimes we need to remove ourselves from the busy. And so with that being said, I'm looking forward to us growing. I'm looking forward to us growing to plenty of women coming, and we all are being empowered, and we all are having some type of holistic release of things that we've been holding on all year or for 10 years. We had a young lady come and talk to us about trauma, childhood trauma. And, with that being said, we hold on to a lot of things that we have dealt with from our childhood up and bring it to our adulthood and don't really know why we're doing some of the things we're doing. So for me, I am currently in a program to get my doctorate in traumatology because I would love for us to talk more about the traumas within our community, us to be able to identify those traumas, as well as how can we release those traumas. And how we can make sure that we don't take those traumas and instill it on the next generation. So that's my vision for my workshops.
And that would be wonderful and it's much needed, as we all know. Thank you so very much for being with us today, Margie McLean. And thank you for sharing your expertise on the show. Are there any parting words you'd like to leave the ladies with, or anyone who's viewing?
Yes, I would love for you to please go on Amazon and find my book, For the Love of Me. It's Margie Y. McLean. I actually do 6 weeks a 6-week workshop with that book. If you would like for me to come and do a 6-week workshop with your young ladies or your church group, even teachers, I do it with teachers. If you would like for me to come in and do that workshop with teachers, you can contact me as well at Chemistry Growth Mindset at gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and also we have some videos for you to watch on YouTube as well. If you need a mentoring program in your area, you can contact me at Margie McLean Foundation at gmail.com. And I'll also ask for you to follow me as well. We have a lot of things that is needed within our community. And we have plenty of young ladies who are in need of mentorship. And I would love to come your way and speak to your young ladies as well.
Thank you so very much. Now, you talked about teen talk. If you, what would be some of the issues you would discuss with the young ladies on teen talk?
We spoke about everything. One of the things we discussed was self-image and
Mm-hmm.
self-love on
Mm-hmm.
the Teen Talk. I actually had more than one teen come on. We talked about that. We talked about bullying uh,
Ah,
on our Teen Talk as well, which was really good. You can also find some of those on YouTube as well. And then we also discussed peer pressure.
mm,
So we talk about those different things, the issues that our kids are dealing with that they feel like they can't talk to maybe their mom, their parents, or someone they know, but they want to be able to share and express themselves. Because a lot of
yes.
times, let's be honest, adults, we don't have time to listen or don't want to have time to listen to our children. And sometimes when the child is telling you how they feeling, we sometimes believe that the child is being disrespectful, and
We can't be
sometimes we just need to
dismissive.
sit down and listen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that grows up into adulthood as well. Again, childhood
Mm-hmm.
trauma, telling them to be quiet, they have no say, what so have you. And so when they become adults, that's just how they are. They hold things in, and so it pretty much manifests and blow up. So those are a lot of things that we talked about on the Teen Talk, and I'm looking forward to bringing that back, and hopefully having some teens on to talk as well.
I would love for you. That's great, and I would love for you to elaborate a little bit about your book. We kind of skimmed over it, but I know there's a lot of meat in there, so I would love for you to share more about the book.
All right. So For the Love of Me is a
Mm,
31-day journal to self-love. In that book, we are teaching women, or teaching anyone, I'm going to say men
mm-hmm.
also. We're teaching them how to love themselves again, how to look within themselves and see that they are worth love. They are worthy. Teach them gratitude, how to be grateful for the little things. You may
Mm-hmm.
not have everything that everyone else has, but you have something that someone doesn't. So just be grateful for that. Teaching them how to love themselves again, say they are worthy. I have a small little story about myself in there.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
in that, I have an affirmation wheel. And with that affirmation wheel, you create an affirmation about every aspect of your life. So it could
Mm,
be finance, it could be your family, it could be your diet. You just create an affirmation. And so in my 6 week program, we go through all of those chapters, and we talk about everything in that book. And with that being said, I think that it has really inspired the women who got in the book. I was, just to get the testimonies coming back to tell me how this book is really, really helping them and how they need it. And I had some women who want me to come and do a group um, counseling with them. And so I'm looking forward to that. It has really changed lives. It have changed lives for me, even doing the book, as I was just going through things that I have been through within my, relationships, whether it be family, whether it be romantic relationships or what so have you. And sometimes we can lose self-esteem. So we have to learn how to build that back up and love ourselves again. So, uh, those steps are very, 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 very helpful to how we can see ourselves again as us, because sometimes we lose ourselves within the people that we surrounded. Also, the book teaches you how to value your goods and your bads. You may fail at some things. It's okay to fail. But are you just going to stay in it, or are you going to pick up and figure out how can I do this better and move forward? So I love the book. Again, it's on Amazon. It's a really great book, teaching you how to really, really look inside yourself again. You even get a chance to write a love letter to yourself. How many have sat and just wrote a love letter to themselves? You have 3 love letters that you write to yourself. And that can sometimes be kind of hard, whether we know it or not, when you're trying to write a love letter to yourself. So
yes. Now, Margie, tell us.
that's your question again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we was having a little bit of fun from. Tell us, from as a young age, when did you start to feel that this might be your area mentoring to other women. Were you very nurturing as a friend, as a young girl?
Yes, I was. As I was younger, I was always the friend that everyone would come to and needed advice or wanted to talk to about situations. Didn't really think this is what I would end up doing, being a speaker. And I know that this was a calling for me, but I'm not gonna lie, I ran from the calling. I was always one to hang with the fellas, not really hang with the young ladies. So when the Lord gave me this mission to do, I'll be honest with you, I ran from it, and I ran a long time until I just decided to just go ahead and give in. But yeah, so I really did not think that this was my calling at first. But when I became a teacher, and seeing how I was impacting young ladies who had never had anyone to pour anything into them, listen to them, tell them that it was beautiful, tell them you were a queen, giving them positive affirmations. It just, for me, I said, I need to do this going forward. Our young women, Black women, Latino women, Caucasian, they all need this because a lot of our young girls start off in domestic violence, domestic relationships, but they think that's the way it is, that they supposed to be, in that's how they are shown love. So just to give that to them, and especially if they don't have any mentorship in their lives growing up, they need someone.
Now, how young are we talking? What's the youngest ages that you've had to deal with in your program?
The youngest that I did with was middle school age. So and we're looking at going a little further younger, but I started middle school. And the reason why I do middle school is because in middle school is when they start to try to find themselves, trying to figure out who they are. And so someone has to hone in on that and lead them and guide them. They need a lot of guidance in that area in middle school. So I started off in high school, but I want to catch them before they get to high school. And I may need to go even further and catch them in elementary. I became an elementary teacher last year. And I'm seeing how we need to start even earlier than middle school. Catch our young girls as well as our young men as well. We have to catch our youth before it's too late.
We definitely commend you for what you do, and we support you in all your endeavors. I'm wondering, have you started a writing program for the girls? Have you initiated that in there to draw up the writers and the creativity?
I have not thought about that, but that's a good idea to do. I'm gonna just say this. I had when I was living in Richmond, I had a young lady, Chelsea Bishop at the time. I'm gonna go ahead and call her out. I love that young lady. She I was mentoring her in a program that she was in. When I met her, she was rough around the edges. I would just have to say that. And I stuck with her, and her mom and her family always would go and visit, and then I became her mentor. So I remember one day going to the house, and she showed me a book of her poetry. And I started reading the poetry. I said, you need to put this in a book. She said, for real? I said, yeah, you need to put this in a book. Why is this not in a book? You need to publish this. She didn't think anything of it. So maybe years later, after I stopped mentoring her, but I would still call and check on her. I wasn't her, official mentor, but I still would go and see her. I received a picture of a book and a dedication. And in her book, she put a dedication to me in her book. And she published those poems.
That
and
is
I was
fantastic.
so proud of her. I was so proud, and still proud of her. I still tell everybody about her. She's doing some wonderful things now. She's a doula. She has a family. And I am, that's one of my success stories, I would say. Not calling her a success story, but I would say that's one of the things I am proud of that young lady, not because of me, but because she decided to do that. But I never thought about that. So I'm going to write that down. Write that down in my memoir to do that.
Fantastic. Now, and I know you work with kids, but the cruise that you mentioned, that is for adults, correct?
So are you taking it? I'm sorry.
You mentioned a cruise?
Yes, the cruise. We're doing the Divas Empowerment Cruise. That will be March 9th through the 15th. It will be on the Carnival Horizon, and
Mm.
we are just going to get away for a little bit and enjoy all the women who came to my event. We're going to enjoy each other. We are first going to Jamaica, I believe, and then we're going to go to the Cayman Islands. We're going to end up in Mexico and come on home. But it's just a way for us to get away from
Is
life
this
and just
everybody
enjoy each other.
invited or just
Everybody's invited. Whoever wants to
okay? Now,
come can come.
how would they sign up? You have any information available for us or
Yeah, so what you can email me at Margie McLean, well, chemistry growth mindset at gmail.com, and I will send you the information about the cruise, and the timing and who you need to contact for it. Yes.
now how did this come about? This was this a, like let's start off by celebrating your book type thing or how did this cruise come about?
So with the Divas Empowerment, I wanted to kind of move it around. Like I said, we started in Myrtle Beach, and then
Okay.
we went to Myrtle Beach again, and then we came to Charlotte, which was amazing. And then this year I said, you know what, I would love to do a destination empowerment retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I said, I think I want to do a cruise. So I talked to the ladies, would you like a destination or a cruise? And some of the ladies was like, I would love a cruise. It'd be my first cruise, which it'd be mine as well. And so I decided to do the cruise there. And so what I did decide was, instead of doing workshops, we're just going to go and have fun. I
Okay.
don't want
So
to
this
go
is a
in
camp
and we
for
just doing a
me,
whole bunch of
girly
workshops
girls.
on a cruise. We want to
Yes.
enjoy each other. So you can
Yes.
get your balcony. I got a balcony suite.
Okay.
And so just come out and have a good time and just have some fun and just get away for a little bit, and also discussing things at the same time. We can be discussing, a couple of things that women are going through, and just still have that
Yeah.
calamity and those conversations that are needed.
Okay. And that sounds great. And thank you for sharing that information with us.
You're
Now,
welcome.
the different organization and the foundation itself, what are the things that you find you are most lacking?
I would say most lacking. Let me see. I think sometimes it could be the support that we want.
Right?
We look for support in
Community,
certain.
family.
I would say more family oriented support. One of the things that I also teach young ladies or anyone that's trying to start a business, because I do a business workshop too for entrepreneurs, especially for
Mm-hmm.
kids. I
Mm-hmm.
do a
Mm-hmm.
workshop called Turn Your Passion into a Paycheck. So anything that you love to
Okay.
do, I teach them that you can turn that into a business.
Absolutely.
So a
Absolutely.
lot of times they come and to me and say, hey, I don't get enough support from my family and my friends. And I tell them sometimes that's not where you need to look. That may not be your customer, your client, your
Mm-hmm.
audience. I try to teach them not to be so disappointed in that. Sometimes that's regular.
Mm-hmm.
Even, me having an event, I was supposed to have an event on November 16th. I said, I'm going to bring it to my city.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I didn't get that much support. Was it, disappointing? It is disappointing. But I will say I had a young man who was my vendor, and
Mm-hmm.
he emailed me and said, what happened? And I told him, and he said, that's just not your area. And so you're going to have to find another area to go to.
Right.
And he said,
Right. For
whatever
your
support I
reception.
have, I got
Yes.
you. You'll find out that you find a lot of support from people you don't know, more
Yes.
so than people that you do know that know you.
Yes.
Sometimes that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow, but sometimes you have to swallow it and keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
That way your business will be able to flourish the way you have to. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And again, we commend you for what you do. We know this is not an easy thing to do. And plus, while pursuing your career, you say you're going for your doctorate after this?
Yes, I am. Yes. Right now I'm working on my EDS, and then I'm gonna finish, with my
Okay,
doctorate. Yes.
EBS, for those of us,
That's an
EB,
education specialist. So
oh,
I'll
the
be an
special,
education
okay.
specialist in
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
traumatology. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be fantastic. And we look forward to seeing everything that you're going to do in the future. Please keep us informed and we'll be inviting you to come back out, especially once you get that doctorate and come back and give us that trauma class. I know that is so,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
needed. Have you
Yes.
envisioned it in your mind at all, how this is going to work? I know we
Yes,
run out
so
of
I
time, but
am
I really
actually
want to cover that.
always writing different courses. I write courses as well. and I help others write courses for their books. And so I'm always looking at what is needed in our community that we don't talk about. I'm one
Mm-hmm.
of the ones that I have the workshops on the things that we're scared to talk about: domestic
Right.
violence in the church, domestic microaggression amongst ourselves. We kind of be scared to talk about some of those conversations.
Right.
So I bring
Right.
those conversations twofold. So with that being said, traumatology is definitely one. Us as a African American community, we be kind of scared to talk about those things that our parents have instilled on
Right.
us that has become trauma, really, that we don't know, we think is regular. And so now when we have children, we now instill in that trauma. We have to stop it somewhere. We got to break that chain somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But once again, we commend you. And I hear what you're saying. I want to make sure I understand you. So what you're saying, you're taking all your education and all your learning experience, and you're rewriting a curriculum that is based solely on the needs of the community that you serve. That is
Correct.
absolutely wonderful. That
Yes,
is
ma'am.
absolutely wonderful. And we thank you so much for what you do. And any last really final, I know we like preachers now. We're gonna close 3 or 4 times. Give us your contact information one more time. Give us all the information. Please give it to them slowly so we can make sure everybody gets are able to
Yes, so you
contact you.
can find me if you're looking for life coaching or group coaching. You can find me at Chemistry Growth Mindset. Um, on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram as well as YouTube, on YouTube as well. If you want to watch some of the videos as well, you can also email me at chemistrygrowthmindset@gmail.com. And if you would like mentoring programs in your area, you can find me at Margie McLean Foundation @gmail.com. And you also can find me on Instagram at Margie McLean Foundation with the number one at the end. Yes.
And the cruise is the Diva Empowerment Cruise. So if they Google it, would they be able to find it? Is there a website for it or?
They can email me at chemistrygrowthmindset@gmail.com, and I will send them the information for the cruise. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you. And this is for adults. Is there an age limit, or are they taking young women?
We take
Is
in
this
starting at
mothers and
18 and
daughters,
yeah,
or
18 and up. Yes, ma'am.
18 and up? Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. So we have let's do a list of all the organizations again. Give me one. Give me this. Let's start with the first one.
We have the Margie McLean Foundation,
Okay, and what's the next one? Because I want them to go Google it. What's the next one?
Chemistry Growth Mindset. That's spelled with a K. Chemistry Growth Mindset.
Okay,
And then we have the Divas Self-Care Empowerment and Holistic Wellness Retreat.
and she's still trying to get her doctorate, people. That is wonderful. I applaud you. Thank you so very much. You're awesome. You're wonderful. We love what you do, and please continue doing what you